Alright, so here's the last example, example 4. And here's another type of example they could throw at you. But again, the biggest part is looking at the bearings and directions and everything. Make sure you understand those. So again, go ahead and stop the video. Go ahead and write this down. Write everything down. And then come back. Alright, so example 4 says 2 planes leave an airport at the same time on different runways. One flies on a bearing of north 66 degrees west and 32 miles per hour, and the other airplane flies on a bearing south 26 degrees west at 300 miles per hour. How far apart will the airplanes be after 2 hours? Okay, so here again, the north, south, east, west thing. So again, we're having 2 directions going on. Oop, south part also. So the directions are there, and we also now have miles per hour. And let's see if you guys understand miles per hour. So here's a question. If I say that the speed limit is 25 miles per hour, how many miles would you go in an hour? Okay, now some of you guys might be like, I don't know, 50, 75, 20. Think about what I just said. 25 miles per hour. So if you said 25, you're perfect. You understand what's going on. But if you didn't, if we say it's 25 miles per hour, that means we go 25 miles in 1 hour. 25 miles in 1 hour. So if we look at even the 325 miles per hour that we have right here, that means we're going 325 miles in 1 hour. The same thing here for this one. 300 miles per hour. So in 1 hour, how many miles would you go? 300. So that's going to be important here for this part. All right, so let's go ahead and start drawing this out. Okay, so I'm going to do this in, let's do blue. I like blue. I'm going to just put a dot right here and just say this is the airport that our airplanes are flying from. So 2 airplanes are leaving the airport at the same time, but on different runways. So one flies on a bearing of north 66 degrees west. North. So again, we have north and we have west. So remember, the first letter tells you what direction the dotted line goes. It tells you dotted line. So here, that part is north. So we do a dotted line going up north, straight up. And then we go 66 degrees west. So again, west is over here. So it means we're going to come this direction. 66 degrees west. Now with that, we have just draw a line there to talk about where that airplane's going. Something like that. Something like that. Not perfect. Alright, and we'll talk about the miles per hour in a few minutes. A few seconds. That's important. Alright, and then let's go ahead and go to south 26 degrees west for the other plane. So the other airplane flies on a bearing of south 26 degrees west. So again, the first letter tells you where the dotted line goes. So south, straight down. And it goes west again. So it means it's going that direction. That direction. So here, south, and it's going west. But this time it's only 26 degrees. So the angle is a little bit sharper. So we do that. Looks something like this. Okay. And they ask, how far are the planes apart from each other? So are we trying to find this side and this side? Or are we trying to figure out if this plane is here and this plane is here, how far apart are they? That's what we're trying to find. We're trying to find this side right here. This side right here. Alright. So that's the side we're looking for. Now, the biggest part here it says how far apart, the question asks, how far apart will the airplanes be after 2 hours? After 2 hours, how far apart are they? So that means if 1 hour does 325 miles, how many does 2 hours do? So this is 650 here, miles. Because if 325 miles is 1 hour, we multiply that by 2 to give us the 2 hours. Okay, and then here for this other one, if it went 300 miles for 1 hour, how many is it for 2 hours? 600. Multiply by 2. Okay, now the thing we have to figure out is just this side right here. Now, the best thing to do is look at it and be like, okay, well, we know this is a straight angle. When it comes to all the stuff we learned in math, this is a straight angle here, and that means all of this equals 180 degrees. So that means if I add, let's do it over here, 66 plus whatever this side thing is in here, let's say A, just to do it, and plus 26, that should equal 180 degrees altogether, right? Because this is a straight angle, and a straight angle equals 180 degrees. So let's go ahead and combine these two here again, like we've been doing. That's 12, 6, 8, 9, so that's 92 degrees plus A. Then if you subtract 92 from 180 like we've been doing, what do we get? About 88 degrees. So inside, our angle is 88 degrees. Okay, so if we look at just a triangle here, we have this side, we have the angle, and we have that side. Now, what do we use with law of sines and law of cosines if they give you two sides and an angle, but none of the letters match up? So in other words, we have two sides here and an angle in the middle of them. Which one do we use? The law of cosines, right? Okay, so that's important to know. We're going to use the law of sines because we have two sides and an angle. And that angle is in between the two sides. And so nothing matches up, in other words. Nothing matches up here. No sides and angle match up. So that means we have to do the law of cosine. And it's up to you, again, how you want to label this. So you can do A, you can do B, you can do C. I'm going to call this A because it's the airport. Call this B and call this C. That's how I'm labeling it, because that's A for airport. So that means this is side A, this is side B, this is side C. So sorry, backwards. This is side B, this is side C right here. Sorry, I did that backwards. Alright, so with that, the question is, how far apart will the airplanes be after 2 hours? So how far apart? So it means we're trying to find side A, right? So let's find A. And if we're trying to find side A, let's go ahead and use the cosine, the law of cosine that deals with A squared equals. And again, remember that formula is given to you on the final exam, but here we kind of know it already. So we keep the A squared. The B is 650. C is 600 squared minus 2 times 650 times 600 cosine, and our angle A is 88. And so all we do is put that into the calculator, and we get a great, wonderful answer. So when we put that in the calculator, that gives us a squared equals 755,278. And then we take the square root of that there. It's about 869 miles. And again, you could have did the square root at this point, or you could have did the square root way up here. It's up to you. It doesn't matter how you do that, as long as you get the right answer and it makes sense. So here, we didn't have to do a whole lot of work. So with that, we just write the answer out in a sentence form, and then we are done. Yay! So this one, the law of cosine really isn't always that bad. It's always, that seems to be the shorter ones. So the two airplanes are 869 miles apart from each other. After 2 hours. And that's it. So that is our final word problem. It's only 4 of them that we're going to deal with. And now you will actually get a project with this to work on it, and I'll explain the project to everybody. But again, these are your word problems, and if you need to go back over them over and over and over again until they make sense to you, do that. Because you need to make sure you know how to do these word problems, because they will show up on the final exam. They will. But I trust that you guys can do this. I believe in you. I really do. I'm not just making that up. I do believe in you guys. Work hard. You guys got this.